From the highlands to the city, my sweet twin island, red, white, black when you see it. So you do you, my love, is you I'm so proud of. Because you're Trinity to the bone, yeah. What's a wine and mash up the road, yeah. Caribbean beauty, hot and groovy, little moody. She's so in love to be in West Indies.
Sweetness in abundance everywhere. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love up my country.
Sweet, sweet TNT. How I love up my country. Anyone who does not know, please be aware that you are fortunate to be born in a space and a place that is blessed, tremendously blessed. Of course, all of God's earth is tremendously blessed. But boy, there's something special about this place. There's something definitely special about these twin islands that we have been fortunate to be born on, or have migrated to, whichever one. Let us give thanks for God's blessings. Let us appreciate what we have been given. Just take your time. Just slow down a little bit and look around. Sometimes when we speed in, when our head's down, there is so much around us that we miss. I almost missed that Chenet in season. I almost missed it. I decided yesterday, let me walk up the road and check the tree. And Chenet. We missing that mango in season and mango falling, and we ain't even had time to stop, go pick, sit down and enjoy. Pomerac bearing a little bit. This month and all is a kind of blessed month too. This time, and so much fruit, so much water on the land, so much greenery as well. Enjoy. I spent a weekend in Toko because I had some work there as well, and so much beauty, right? So during the election campaign, first time I went all the way to Matlot, I think. I know as a child I would have gone with my parents a little distance, but certainly not a Matlot. I don't think so, because that is far. But with the drive, once in a blue moon, you know, the beauty that still exists in Trinidad and Tobago, the greenery, the starch in abundance, starch mango in abundance on that side. Good morning to my friend Mr. Bermudez as well. The breadfruit in abundance. I remember hunting some breadfruit on that side, right? Making a move with a friend of mine to get breadfruit. I think we end up with some good cookers bags, well, of breadfruit. It was around a fasting period for us, and we decided we would do some breadfruit and thing to cook, and we went up the day before. So much beauty around us. Let us give thanks and praise to the Almighty Creator for life. Yesterday, a friend, a colleague, right, passed away after a sharp decline with illness. Let us give thanks for life, because today you're here, tomorrow you're not here. Right? Hug your children, give them a kiss like if you're not sure if you're going to see them, because you're not sure if you're going to see them. Understand this life, what it entails, and treat it with the love as such. Treat it the right way. Stop taking things for granted. We take way too much for granted. How to repeat that one? We take way too much for granted. So I really like that Michael Teja. I like the beat, I like the rhythm. Obviously, I love the fact that it is fused with David Rudder's song as well. Something that he has done successfully, sampling and combining with tremendous artists, right? I want to push it and play it again because my live might done get pulled long later. So let me make sure and look at my live today, those who don't see it one time, right? But, you know, the visuals as well, right? Go onto YouTube, take a look. Sights and scenes across Trinidad and Tobago of beauty. Imagine we living in Trinidad and Tobago and we not going to the beach. You know, take the time. Take the time. Take the time and enjoy. Take the time and spend some of it with your children. Take the time and spend some of it with your family. Come out of the mental box of, you know, wherever you are. If you don't have no money, take a little walk. Take a little walk in the bush. Pick some fruit. I am sure that in Trinidad and Tobago, very few of us live 5 minutes away from the nearest fruit tree. I'm almost sure. I mean, in some of the urban, even if you're in Port of Spain, I'm sure you live not too far from fruit, and that's the favor and blessing of the Almighty Creator, right? Let me get into the news because I was looking at the news this morning, and in particular a couple stories that I wanted to discuss with you all. Is it the Express? I show it on all the leading newspapers. Two major ones: the removal of the old finance minister, and then the selection of a new finance minister. So Mr. Larry Howai is back. He was our finance minister at one point before, and now he has returned with this administration as the central bank governor. And of course, part of the reason, of course, is not the only reason. Part of the reason that the central bank governor has been removed is his refusal to share information on the use of Forex in Trinidad and Tobago, which is a pressing issue for Trinbagonians. Right? So our present government has taken on the task of tackling the fake elite, as our Prime Minister describes them. Right, not my words, right? Her words. Although I begin, I could take responsibility for what I say, but yeah. She has described this fake elite as, you know, dominating certain aspects of our society to the detriment of the majority. And of course, for a very long time, myself and others have been speaking about the 1% benefiting so tremendously from Trinidad and Tobago and being served by the political establishment. Being served. So instead of the government that we elect working for the people, what we have seen over the past years, right, 10, maybe before in different administrations, different times as well, we see instead of them working for us who elect them, they work for those who finance them, right? And who dominate the society, so much so that our last Prime Minister was afraid to even speak on them. I don't know if afraid is the right word. I don't know how his relationship, what type of relationship he had, but he certainly had a tremendous relationship with the 1%. And it was to the detriment of the majority, the people. So this is part of the continual battle for the rights of the majority of Trinbagonians, right? And whatever standard is set now, it has to be upheld in continuing, which is a lovely, lovely thing. I don't know if Trinidad and Tobago understands how lovely that is. Because if our Prime Minister now puts scrutiny to this extent on the disbursement of Forex, then that precedent is set for that scrutiny to continue. You understand? So anybody now dreaming of monopolizing Forex and leaving us in a pressure situation, 200 US, 200 US, 200 US for how much days going by the bank begging when you need to travel or do some transaction or business. You know, when your business shutting down because you can't import. You know, when you and your small trade have absolutely no access. When credit cards, which you done paying a set of money for, being reduced in terms of the amount of US you could access. And, you know, there are accusations that people getting hundreds of millions in Forex. That has to be outlined. We want that information. And I don't know what was the issue with Mr. Tahilier, but he, I believe, was a bit reluctant. I've seen different commentators speak on the matter in the sense that, you know, there may be a certain level of privacy to those dealings. However, others have said clearly that, you know, if there's a request by the finance minister from the central bank governor, then through those channels that information should be provided, and thus from the finance minister, who has a responsibility to us as a public, it can also be provided to us. So Mr. Hillier is gone, and there's now Mr. Hawaii, and we look forward to that report that a committee is set up to produce. Not a big committee, and no big expenses, just a couple ministers who have that responsibility. I ain't even think they're getting no extra pay for that, right? And we would like it to stay so. Right, Trinidad and Tobago? We want it to stay so. It could just take a little couple of them who are already employed by us. No extra pay, because all the salary, it certainly good compared to the average Trinbagonian. Just to bring this information forth for us. Let us, as an intelligent public, we are not stupid. Right? I repeat it over and over because I want us to believe it too, right? We are not stupid. Right? We get fooled once or twice by certain things, right? Sometimes, some of us. You could fool some of us some of the time. Not all of us all of the time. But we just catch on. Don't play with me. Right? Warning to all politicians, warning to everybody, warning to everybody. Morning warning, right? Don't play with us. So we want to see who getting all the Forex. What is the big shortfall about? You know, is the money being allocated in a manner that is with priority, proper priority, because some people would say some businesses are priority, and then a new administration and the people may think, hey, small business and certain things are priority as well. We really have to be we have to mind our business. So we're interested in knowing our business, and that is definitely one of the reasons why Mr. Hillier has been removed. It is official. Those who pay attention to this important process of politics and governance would understand that the president, on instruction, would remove the central bank governor and replace that individual letter of appointment to whoever is new, and that process has already taken place. You can see the pictures of Mr. Tanku and Hawaii smiling. I don't think we would have the pictures of anything from President's house, because I think it would just be a communique. But pay attention to your country and the way that it works, because it affects you. If you do business on a small level, if you purchase from abroad, which most of us purchase some things from abroad, it matters to you. It affects you. If you need to go for medical treatment, it affects you. If you need to see family abroad, it affects you. If you need to transfer some money to someone who's living in school abroad or pay for their tuition, if you are sacrificing for them to be educated abroad, don't forget we are IWER and other things, right? But whatever your circumstance. So it does matter tremendously when we have to go to the black market where somehow it's still available and pay more. It matters. It drives the cost of goods and services upward when you can't access Forex. And why are people having it, on the black market, but there's an inability to access it through the proper channels? So there are questions to be answered, and I appreciate, and I know a lot of people appreciate what is being done by our current administration. I know that there are Trinbagonians who understand that it's not about who, but what they actually do. I know a lot of us are intelligent enough to have dismissed and moved away from the petty small-mindedness of this politics and that politics and this color and that color. Color means so much less to us. What is important to us as a people is performance and service for us and a better life for us and our children. So, we can pay attention and look forward to some answers. And you don't even need to pick up the dailies anymore. You could just go online and have a look at that article. The other topic that I wanted to touch on as well is the issue of the 5 students who have been charged, right? They've been formally charged. Let me just pull up the article. Right. Yeah, so I took a look at the article last night, and is part of a strong policy that is being taken by our government, which is understandable, is very understandable given the circumstances, given the continuity, right? Given the frequency, to use colloquial language, because, you know, it come like a joke now, it come like, and we do understand that obviously incidences of violence would have occurred in the past in our schools, in our society. We live in a very violent society as well. But at some point we need to take serious steps to fix that problem. And this is part of the serious steps. I think the harsh, if we want to call it harsh, if this harsh and serious stance that has been taken by our government as policy is to signal to parents, to signal to even the children as well, because they are aware. Some of them are aware, some of them not so aware, but some of them are aware. And as more examples are made of, you know, students, regrettably, the word will spread. The word will spread, and other children will understand the consequences, and that the consequences are great. It is not a joke. It is not fun and games. We have seen instances in the past where children have lost their lives, right? Violence, physical bodily harm could go very negative very quickly. The human being is fragile. And I'm saying this, and I hope that serious work is being done to go into schools to really underscore and explain these things to children, because children are sometimes not really aware. You're in that period of life where your head not 100% yet, your brain not formed properly, right? Some more than others. So there is a lot of work to be done to give that awareness. So we have seen this very, very strong stance, and 5 schoolgirls ages 14 to 18 have been formally charged for assaulting a Form 4 Holy Faith Convent Couva student outside the school on June the 10th. The move has now left the victim's mother filled with hope that her family will receive justice for the traumatic experience. Assistant Commissioner of Police South Central, Mr. Wayne Meister, said the charges were laid on June the 25th after a thorough investigation conducted by WPC Budu attached to the Couva police station. All 5 girls were charged with the offense of assault occasioning actual bodily harm. Newsday understands the girls all attended different schools in the Couva area. Meister reiterated that police had a zero-tolerance stance on acts of violence, especially involving school-age children, and continued to work with educational institutions, community leaders, and parents to promote peaceful conflict resolution. The brutal attack was captured on video and posted to social media. It showed the victim in her school uniform being beaten by 5 girls who wore casual clothes. A male passerby intervened and broke up the fight. The victim's mother, who asked to not be named, told Newsday she was grateful for the police action that led to the charges. Quote unquote, I am so thankful because in the past, that might not have had elicited the kind of support from the police, from everybody who responded in some way. So I am very happy. I feel relieved. I feel like if my daughter will get justice, and that is really the light today for us. End of quote. She goes on. She says that the family has been offered counseling by the Police Victim Support Unit and the Children's Authority, which is extremely important, and as a positive thing that is being done by the Police Victim Support and also the Children's Authority. I have to give credit where credit is due as well. Even in recently dealing with the family of Zoaid, who was killed in really terrible circumstances in Maloney, that family as well, his colleagues and his friends who play football with him, etc., were offered and given counseling by the police and I think the Children's Authority as well. So that was positive when I spoke to the family and the mother. That was really heartening because I had extended that as well from some of my colleagues who do assist in those instances as well. Then the article goes on to quote the Prime Minister on violence in schools as well. And it is quite long. While some may have disagreed with the Prime Minister's her position, she held firm after the news of the charges being laid in the recent incident. There are consequences to criminal behavior. I will prioritize the rights and protection of the majority of students who want to learn and not the minority who want to disrupt their schools with violence, she told the Newsday via WhatsApp on June the 25th. I remind students and parents that anyone who engages in violence, threats, intimidation, drug dealing, extortion, and bullying will be charged. We will purge our schools of the behavior by any and all means legally available. The country is fed up of this violence and wickedness in our schools and in our society. And I could not agree more with that. It goes on to also speak about reform and transformation and the establishment of and the continuation of proper support even for those children who engage in this type of behavior and placing them in the relevant places where they can be reformed and ameliorated, right? So it is twofold. It is a very, very strong stance against that type of conduct, to discourage that type of conduct, and also putting even further processes in place to take care of those children who have gone very far astray. We take the break and we'll be back.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood. Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the Street 919 FM.
Are you searching for answers to life's questions? Those things that disturb and concern you the most? Why all the wickedness? Why the suffering in the world? Will it end? Who is responsible? Well, if so, join us right here on The Street 91.9 FM every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. with Brother Samuel Gooding and Roland White, where we open the Bible and find answers to all these things and more. For it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
J.E. Guide Funeral Home and Crematorium Limited is a family-friendly funeral service provider serving the nation for over 75 years. We provide at-need and pre-need services at our two locations, 120 Coffee Street, San Fernando, and Cregnish Village, Princestown. Contact us at any time at 235-5049 and 652-4261, or find us on Facebook and Instagram. We are family-driven, family-centered.
TNT, get ready, get hungry, and get to the hut because it's lunchtime! From pizzas to pastas, breadsticks to cinnamon rolls, Pizza Hut's all-you-can-eat lunch buffet is all yours for only $55. Sundays to Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and extended to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Check socials for info on selected locations nationwide and take your hunger to the hut. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering.
Every child is created for excellence. Release the natural intelligence from every child with the IBG educational products. Just listen to these testimonies.
He wanted to read to show me what he can read in one day time. We get through the program and he made real good marks.
And she's singing the song. She liked the song too bad.
And they were really excited. It's success in no time for them.
With the IBG educational products, we guarantee instant learning to all.
This is about the best thing I've seen.
He did extremely well.
At IBG, we project the young minds of today to be leaders tomorrow. Just call us at 330-1384 or WhatsApp us at the same number, 330-1384. Delivery at your door. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. Start working from at home with the IBG educational products and send them out to school as champions.
Are you tired of scratching the surface? Do you want to understand the real forces shaping Trinidad and Tobago? From the delicate dance of our energy sector on the global stage, to the geopolitical shadows behind the crime affecting our streets, we dig deeper. The third umpire goes beyond the headlines. We connect the dots between local challenges and the international currents that truly impact your life, your wallet, your security. Join Stephen Matheson, Selvin Mitchell, and Ronaldo Rollux, 3 employment law and human resource management consulting professionals, as they unpack the complexities, analyze the power plays, and reveal the often hidden realities. Understand the game. Understand your role in it. The third umpire, critically analyzing Trinidad and Tobago's economic and political realities on how they affect your daily lives. Tune in Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. on the Street 919 FM. Don't just listen to the news. Understand it.
Don't miss June savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 30% off appliances today. Plus, shop appliance bundle deals and get up to $1,000 in mini appliances. No cash, higher purchase plans available. Save more now at Furniture Plus.
Whatever you want, it's at Comfort Inn and Suites. We have it all. Buffet breakfast and $99 lunch specials. Tuesday date night, Wednesday ladies night, Friday karaoke, and Saturday barbecue. Celebrate your birthday, anniversary, or just treat yourself to a night out. Pamper yourself at the spa or book a day room to rest and retreat. We have it all at Comfort Inn and Suites. Find us on social media. Call 612-3835 or WhatsApp 466-2478. Comfort Inn and Suites.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM radio. Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamfleur, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Hi there, I'm Lester Suglal, inviting you to join me on the first, second, and third Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, and on the fourth and fifth Saturday from 8:30 p.m. for an extended version of Slow Gospel Music on Street 91.9 FM.
Whoever said messy was a bad thing totally missed the point. Take that hit song everyone loves now. It probably started like this. Baby, calm down. That's why KFC is celebrating the messy moments with our Messy Cruncher and Messy Zinger sandwiches for only $34.95. Imagine a crunchy, golden brown, flavorful chicken sandwich sauced to perfection with our signature sweet, spicy, tangy sauces. Oh boy. So crunch into the deliciously messy moments today. Check socials for details. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. Blessings to everybody. So I was reading from the article in the Newsday today concerning the students who have been arrested and charged. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Fowd. Mr. Fowd, I am very much impressed by your, you actually explaining to the population at large as to the impact of Forex, the lack of Forex, or the, how we call it, inadequacy with respect to the distribution or allocation of Forex in this country, the impact on health, travel, education, you name it. And I like the way you amplify the whole thing. And you must be commended for that because, I mean, it's very simply. And you have people who come as economists and whatnot. And when they leave, I don't think people any better off. So you must be commended for that. And I commend you. What I'm saying, I want to talk about the governor of the central bank. That is you. The fact that I know everybody in Trinidad and Tobago knows that for years, more than 5 years, this country has been grappling with a Forex problem. Right? The previous government said that they put up committee, the last prime minister who lasted only for a month, he met with certain stakeholders during his tenure, short as it was, brief as it was, to resolve it. The matter cannot be resolved. They failed to resolve it. And therefore, we cannot remain in this state. If you're sick and you go to a doctor and the doctor can't prescribe for you to improve your health, you will stay with him? You have to try somebody else. He's been there for 10 years since 2015. His performance has been stellar. What has he done? He's in charge of monetary policy. We know that. That is part of his mandate. But the point about it is that have we seen improvement in the Forex, which is critical? If you don't have Forex, you can't import medicine, you can't import medical equipment. Your children can't go away to study. You have to understand that you can't travel because you don't have Forex. Yeah. And people have to, and if in fact he can't resolve it, you have to try somebody else to have it resolved.
Yeah, but do you? I want you to remember as well. Cast your mind back a little bit. It's not too long ago, prior to election, right before election, the short-term prime minister that we had. You know that he found some way, and through the Exim Bank, there was an allocation for small businesses of 50,000 US or something like that. Some provision that they had put in place. I don't know if it was just electioneering. But right before, so how you could find just all of a sudden right before election some provision and US, but all for how many years we have had this critical problem hampering small businesses. Listen, small traders have been decimated, you know.
But everything in this country under that last regime was done on the basis of political expediency. You had an election coming up, and therefore you have to present to the people some sense or give them some sense that you're trying to do something. The same thing with that constitutional committee that they had, reform. Everybody know that was just a stunt. That was gimmick. This is what they were on for 10 years, just that, nothing being done. Everything is a committee, and that's how they kill issues. They distract the population.
Yeah.
So people have to understand that, and I'm saying that if you believe that, I don't know, if the people of this country were quite happy with the way Hillier was performing, We're looking at performance. We're looking at competence. We're looking to pull ourselves out of that quagmire that we find ourselves in. And the central bank is critical, essential to that. If you don't deal with your central bank, you don't deal with your minister. And the first thing the Gary Sobers did when he was appointed was to remove the Minister of Finance. And if the Minister of Finance was performing excellent, right, if in fact he was a stellar performer, he would have removed him. If somebody is performing well and excellent, above par, you're not moving nobody who is doing a good job. You won't, if your mechanic is doing a good job, would you remove him?
Not at all.
So these are the things, but I'm saying that you have to give the government a chance. But the thing I want people have to understand that in Trinidad and Tobago, it's always divided. If you go to the university, those people, the intellect, and Morgan Job once said there's no intellectual life in this country. If you go to that university there, half the university, half divided. So don't believe you get independence and you get neutrality there and you get, when people speak, you have to do your fact check. You have to do your critical thinking because they are on either side, right? And when they speak for either side. If you go to the newspaper, you know that the majority of because you have two main media houses there, and the evidence is there for over the last 10 years, that they lean towards the outgoing government. So you have to understand that. And when those people who write and you read, you go and do your fact checks. You critically think. Because yesterday I read on one of their papers where they were saying people were talking about him that came in, and one of the articles there, they were saying that he came in on the 17th of February. And I understand what they were trying to do. Because February to April 28th, right, it would have meant that, you sit down there and then you had time to spend. But the fact remains is that you came in just a month. As soon as the man was appointed Prime Minister, the man appointed his cabinet, and the next day the man called elections. How that amount of money could be spent there? The question as to who's going to win the election is uncertain. Nobody knows. What could come up in your mind to go and spend that kind of money? Thank you, Mr. Abuak. I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And for us as a population, we have to understand that we need to be impartial because we don't want one way or the next. We want the best way for ourselves and our families and the society. We want the best way, and you don't arrive at the best way because of tradition, because of color, because of race. You arrive at the best position based on qualification, policy, performance. That is how you arrive at what is best. And therefore, we must be sensible enough to understand that all of the parameters that need to be covered in order for this administration to perform, let them cover it. Because then they have full responsibility. Who could hamper? Maybe the business sector to some extent, if they want to push back in some way, could try to push back against policy or whatever. But for the most part, if you lose the buy-in of the public service, maybe workers could hamper your progress as well. But for the most part, once you are able, as is our convention and law, to place people who have the same direction and philosophy as you have, as is mandated to you. We mandate people to serve us. The mantra was everyone, the country as a collective has to win. The mantra was workers, working class people have to win. The mantra was we don't want this 1% nonsense. We want the wider population to feel progress in our nation. So therefore, people with that mindset and philosophy are now being placed in positions to lead our country in that direction. And of course, Mr. Larry, how I would have led previously in the capacity as finance minister, I think there's no one who can really question his ability and his experience. So he's now going to lead in this capacity instead of someone who oversaw certain challenges and was not able to bring a solution to those challenges. And even now, when we are investigating the issue in the forum of the public for us to see what is going on, pay attention. All in a scene what was going on. I don't even want the government to go on too long explaining how bad things were, because I would like them to ameliorate, to fix the problems going forward. And we know it was bad, but it is important as well. And understand Trinidad and Tobago, when they set that standard, when the Prime Minister, Ms. Prasad Bisesa, sets this standard, she also will keep her cabinet to that standard. When you shine up Imbert for wasting 1.3 million or how much ever the sum was in outfitting, because he was moved to public utilities, right? And outfitting that place for a very short period of time. I don't know if he dreamed that he was going to win. Well, boy, to maybe continue as Minister of Public Utilities, right? But I don't know what he was thinking to waste that money so quickly in such a short period of time, while everybody else feeling pressure. Everybody else has been asked to go through austerity, while you just tell people 001. And when they move here and whatever, and Mr. Stuart Young go, they on the edge of desperation before election. I think he reached to 5%, 4%. I can't remember what the desperate cry was. When they realize flour more than water. But we had to understand that when we give the support to our government to set these standards, then they must be held by those standards as well. So we hold them to that standard that they set in. If there is no change, if there is no improvement, then we must ask for better. If we only see another minister coming in, spending money in a negative way, unnecessarily at this point in time where people are under pressure, we're going to criticize it. We are going to criticize it. Understand? So let us support what makes sense for us as a population. Let us support that. Let us stop supporting. You don't need to defend Massey and whoever else and all the big players. We as a population don't need to defend them. They could defend themselves. Trust me. Trust me, the big players in this society, certainly in terms of Forex, the big players could defend themselves. We collectively, and with our representatives in government, because these are supposed to be our representatives, we had to fight and to ensure that there is a balanced society where the needs of all of our society are met. We have to ensure that there is equitable distribution. We have to ensure that priority is given to where priority is supposed to lie. And then what is the priority? Is the priority luxury vehicles? Or is the priority families who need to pay for education for their children, who need to support their children abroad, who need to support their children who are doing medical procedures abroad that are not available here? Is that the priority? Small businesses who need Forex. Is that the priority for us? Or is the priority bringing in more Mercedes-Benz for the elite? Think about it. We have to think about it. If in actuality this Forex is so scarce, because we're not even sure. We're not even sure if it's so scarce, you know. We're not sure. Because they're finding it sometimes for some things. So, right, welcome Mr. Larry Hawaii. Welcome to service again. And this is also the thing, if you are truly going to serve Trinidad and Tobago, then this little remuneration that you get in public office isn't what it is about. Because most times in your private business and practice, I'll be honest with you all, most people who are professionals and business people as well, especially in finance, etc., make more money in their own private capacity. So for some people, it is really a call to serve. It's really a call to serve. For others, it's a call to serve themselves, as we have seen in the past. Because we see some individuals in the past who they leave, well, supposedly leave their private business, which means they rub off their name from the building and say that it don't belong to them no more. They transfer the share in the buildings and the this and the that, the business to the children and the wife and the whoever. And then from their government offices and their positions of contact, they ensure that there is a continual flow of business and money to them. So it's not really a call to serve the people of Trinidad. It is a desire to serve themselves. Come on, Trinidad and Tobago. Think. Think. Think about it. We're not stupid. We're not stupid. We are not stupid as a population. Come on, Trinidad and Tobago. Morning, caller.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, welcome.
To strengthen your point about call to serve self, just go back to the recent time when somebody could recuse themselves for over 50, 100, maybe 200 times from a decision-making position. You understand? So they're not doing it they're doing it in disguise, not for themselves, but for the family and whoever.
Yeah.
So that it wouldn't look like they collect. And there are people who do that. I mean, unfortunately, elderly people do that too. When they want a little pension, they may have enough, but they put everything in the children and whoever needs, and tell the people they're living in a one-bedroom thing. Even though the house looking good, but they're living in a one-bedroom, and the children living. At the time, so it happens in all quarters.
Yeah.
But especially for those who esteem to high office, you have to watch them because it's very dangerous.
Yeah, very, very dangerous. Yeah, thank you very much, caller. Yeah, and that's where the question of recusals keep coming up. And they would tell us, and I don't know who eating that, they would tell us that, well, it's the proper thing to do and they did the right thing and the proper thing. But what we were trying to explain is that, who do you really represent? Who are you really working for? And we ask the question here, and we have to continue to ask the question, is it that you are serving the people of Trinidad and Tobago, or are you there to serve your own interests? Turn off the radio. Morning.
Yeah, the radio.
All right, nice. I was just getting a little feedback. It's better now, I believe.
Yeah, peace and blessings.
Same to you.
It's a very good point here on the other thing too. I observe Kamala inviting Moody here.
Yeah.
But you know Moody and Trump and Netanyahu and them pushing one here, eh? You understand?
Yeah. Moody actually have a kind of way he playing, he dancing.
You catch for some at all.
Yeah, he dancing all kind of way.
So that's the man we send. Well, India have the top IT men, and that's the man we send 72 are the top men for the election in Trump. You see, they're checking certain states. They want to know how come Kamala didn't get one vote. They find a lot of irregularities, but you know, that's how the show has gone. But I'm so glad we get rid of this ignorant fool that we had here, the worst prime minister this country ever experienced, because you could not raise nothing. Anytime you try to raise anything is abuse, verbal abuse, you understand? And so on. And it's so good to see that you have people that could actually care and get and make some headways into certain things, you know, and it will take a little time. Yeah. You know, but I don't like this situation with this Moody. You see the youth man in New York, he have Trump who win, the man Trump that say he's a communist.
Yeah, I see it, yeah. That's nice to see the fella in New York win so far the primary.
Yeah, he's a Muslim player, but they don't tell him as a communist, and you know the big guns go try their best to get him over. But he has to be careful too, because you see them little rednecks and them who will be driving around just shooting people and things in different car parks and all those things. Things were bad up there in certain states, something like Arizona and so on. Yeah. Driving around open pick up and things and insulting people and want to beat people and all kind of thing. Tomboys and them. And the people who we hire as ICE, plenty of them have no qualification and things. Like what PNM do here in certain things. They are the men who protested for him and things. Them get big walk in ICE and things, enjoying the sight of this. And just for you, if you go up there and they want to, they don't like your head to see a picture in any kind of protest and things. You hold your picture up there and send you El Salvador. Yeah, you stand a chance up there now. You have to be very careful up there. No?
Yeah, well, that update problem, me really had time with update too much, no?
Yeah, but we have take time to rebuild and to carry on with normal people as leaders. You understand? That man was the worst prime minister this country ever experienced. That's why we have to remember him as. You understand? We put no stupidness in the children's head. And from William days come right down. That's where the money went. Trillions of dollars. Corruption from that time comes straight down. You understand? So keep up the good work. Right? Let's see what can happen. And how come all of a sudden they can have so much verbal discussion and so much points raising in Parliament? You understand? Before, when you try to raise anything, the speaker shutting you down. Yeah. Shutting you down. You understand? So And you see these families who own all these, gain all these big contracts to do this and that, and this one wife and that one lease and all this type of thing. It's to get rid of all these things. You understand? Man, you getting too much money to maintain care from double. Man, give some small man some work and things, spread the thing among
yeah,
people.
spread the thing around, share the thing.
Yeah. And I hope the handling you nicely could continue good work among the population. You do a great job and continue doing what you're doing, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Take care of all the best, man.
Same to you, brother. All the best. Blessings. Yeah.
Blessings.
No problem. I saw that they bring in, or they not bring in, but he's making a visit, I believe, to the region. I will check it properly, but I know he's Mr. Moody, the president. They have a president or a prime minister? The prime minister or president? I think it's president of India. I will check properly what title he carries. Is visiting Trinidad and Tobago. You know, that's huge as well. Good morning, Prezi.
Oh, yes. Good morning, Imam Fuad Abubakar. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, Papa. God bless the program and bless the day. Let it be nice as I get up this morning. It was nice to keep it nice. And we keep a good consciousness for the day.
Amen. Blessings to that. Yeah, man.
All right. Peace be unto you. All right. I see I started a nice little program this morning talking about the Forex. Well, I am traveling too much. And that is a good thing if we could get some currency rolling in the place. And with the 5 student charge, that is good. Put a little bit of discipline in the place, because especially if move with corporal punishment. If you move with corporal punishment, then you should really have something to do something about the discipline in school. And that's sounding good so far. Because I remember I used to talk about juvenile delinquents and juvenile court and juvenile jail. And if children come to realize that they have to behave themselves in a respect that they could, because I passed through something already, and the police station wasn't a nice thing when I was young. So that is a good point that draw there. My next thing I see you talk about committee. This is a committee to do this and that. I think that has to be kind of lessened down in my express except on special occasions, special cases. Then you utilize committee. Otherwise, and that legislation should have been working properly, right? Larry, why? Well, all right, we know the change there, and if it's going good, it's going good. Now, my point here now, my real point, is something that I recognize in this society, and since I talking about 12 and 12 and 12, what I want you to acknowledge and to want you to institute and make a point to the Miss Kamala, Prime Minister, Miss Kamala, is that representatives must not be made to be ministers. Representatives must now, in her tenure and from here on, start to maintain the representative position so that it can wholly and solely deal with the councillors and the constituencies of our nation. Because that is a position where putting representatives into ministries, they tend to don't do the proper duty of what they're supposed to do as representatives to their constituencies. We now, if you say a point, I don't like the word too much because that's a colonial word, but if they have to hire ministers for ministries now, let us know that they're getting a job to do, and if by tomorrow, please God, they don't do the job, out of the ministry. So that is something from you on. I think I would like to make sure that I promote that and make sure that be established. Thank you, Brother Imam Fuad Abubakar. And that is my state for your program this morning. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, thank you very much. You almost make that point so loud, Prezi, that I feel Miss Bisasa might have heard directly. Even if she in Superior today. right? No parliament today. Tomorrow is the next sitting. But I understand your point about the concern about MPs not being available to do their jobs. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, morning to you. Welcome.
I am so happy that they collect those students because let me tell you something. You need to make an example of the kind of bishop.
Yeah. They need to make an example, a harsh example. They need to deal with them in the best way possible as well, but they needed a harsh example. I understand that too, yeah.
And then one of them is 18 years old, and she could be tried as an adult. 18 years and you're beating up a little 15-year-old and kicking that child all over that street that day. But one of the things why I am happy, honestly, I have a son who's a teacher in a primary school. Listen, I just let him stay there because I am so afraid of secondary school because I want him to go to secondary school to teach, right? Yeah. And I tell him no because I can't see primary school beating you up because still have a chance. But if you go in secondary school, them children bigger than you. So even the parents wait for the sons and daughters to go and be teachers in secondary school and the children will be getting lesser salary, but at least they're safer. So I, for when they give them the opportunity to go into secondary school, I tell them, no, I pray, I will can't sleep, I will can't sit down all day and wonder if they're beating up in school. And then typically a child wouldn't see somebody there and intervene. So he cut it out of the book. So I'm so happy that the government taken a strict measure. So we parents whose children are teachers, and then we parents whose children are students, could be pretty safe. But we needed this. We needed this really, really bad.
Yeah.
And I did call and tell you that they were going for Alvin Hilly and Central Bank. I told you that.
You get the S. You get the S. No, I think that it is par for the course. I think he would have known that he would have had to demit, especially if he was withholding certain information as well. I think he would be aware of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, we know. And then everybody is just how Jawala took the PNM to court and won the 5 million. What they're saying is that, okay, Columbine is saying yesterday that he could take them to court too. But let me tell you, let us take the government to court and let get 5 million, but at least he out of there and they could speak to him more than $5 million. The country could save more than $5 million. Because too much thing was going on and they needed to get him out of there. I am so happy.
Yeah, I think it has some distinctions between the two issues, though. I think between the removal of Mr. Jawala Ramaran and the removal of Mr. Hillier is two different kettle of fish. So I almost sure he's not going to get no $5 million. But yeah, I understand the point as well, in the worst case.
Have a good day.
You too as well. You too. Blessings. Yeah. Morning caller, welcome.
So good morning to you, my brother.
Hey, blessings, brother. Welcome. What's up?
And that is the reason why that Trinidad and Tobago cannot go forward and will not go forward because...
No, we're going forward and we're going forward. We're going forward.
That is a dream we have.
Well, I have a dream.
Come to reality.
I have a dream. You ain't have a dream?
No, it didn't come to reality. No.
Go ahead.
Because we is 1% in the massive all day. Because I personally, I do not support no central bank give out information that people who have US dollars, the kind of country we are living in. You say Ford is a main man who has over $1 million. People will come for you. So you have to be careful. People are talking this reckless and wild. Some of them don't even have a visa to go America. Some of them don't even have know how a US dollar look. But talking about Forex and expose. How could I love my country and say because government I love could do what they want? I mean, this government come, it's the same thing happening. It's the same thing.
Now, I think you're not understanding. What is happening is that the major users of Forex in our country, the allocation from our central bank, because the central bank allocates US currency, not just US currency, but foreign currency, what they are going to do is report on who are the major users of foreign currency, which are mainly corporations, not individuals.
Companies.
And they're just going to investigate whether it's being shared fairly, whether it's being used for priority goods and services, or if there are people who have been manipulating the system and having greater access due to their connections and other things. That is what they're going to do. So it's not a matter of exposing any individual per se that they have $1 million US or something like that.
The new minister of Central Bank said he's not giving it out.
The Mr. Larry Hawaii has said that he's not giving it out?
Yep.
I'm not aware of that. I don't know if you read the early news. I didn't see that on the you get inside information. I didn't see that.
He's not going to give it out because that thing is something. You know, I mean, because of my friends and business people, you know, I've been here, you know. But you see now, this country, Laka, it will not go good until we realize that there's no Mother India, there's no Mother Africa, but it's Mother Trinidad and Tobago. We have to thank our ancestors for all that they've done for us, for coming here and bringing our way for us. But we have to understand that we live here, and this is Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
The reason why things wouldn't be fixed in this country, we are separate by politics, and we are separate also by religion. Because Christian and Hindu, Indian and African, we didn't come together as one, like 1970, when first time in this country you see that it's Indian and African whole hands, and the man together. So we didn't get no result, because today everything the UNC do, their supporters will defend it, every single thing, and everything the opposition do, the supporters will and them is the majority.
Yeah,
them in big numbers.
But we speak about the strength of the middle course, right? And I think you are an Afro-Trinbagonian who may have supported the UNC in the past, and I am an Afro-Trinbagonian who supports Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar 1,000% right now. And let me tell you something, right? If I find that she goes off course, likewise, I will speak very, very clearly that I do not support if she does something wrong. So it is the people in the middle course who determine the success of this country, and the more people that gravitate towards this middle course. And let me tell you something, Kingsley, we are plenty in number. We are Douglas. If from a racial perspective, it are plenty Douglas, and then beyond that, it are plenty people who go beyond that ignorance of race and color and yellow and red. What we want is a society that works for all of us. So don't underestimate the strength that you have and that I have and that we have. I just hear people calling in the station, Kingsley, you can't tell if there's East Indian or African because of how they song or whatever, but everybody unanimously want a better Trinidad and Tobago. And whoever politically provides that opportunity is who we support. So I understand what you're saying with the little backward ones. It has some backward ones, but trust me, we move into a better place.
And as I close, my brother,
yeah, man,
I see a video where a young lady living in her car, and the young lady claiming that she's a strong UNC supporter. I do not know her. I do not know if she worked in the last month for the election, because I worked 9 years. I didn't work when the bearing. I wasn't.
Where you see that? Where you see that? And where she from?
On social media. She's calling out. Yes, after I will send for you.
Yes, send it for me. Where's she based in Port of Spain?
Well, she's African lady living in a car. She's saying that she was on social media campaigning for the UNC. She got brutalized, and she was also on the ground. And she in a car living in her car. She said she doesn't wet in the car, and she are calling out for help.
Right.
So she went back.
You send me the video because I think I know the person. A wrong Port of Spain?
I don't know if she's from Port of Spain.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
but she said she went by a certain minister to get help because she called a minister name in the video, but I didn't call the minister name. But she called a minister name in the video, and she said that the minister did not help her.
Right.
I just wanted to send a small message out. Please, UNC. When UNC win, everybody win.
Yeah.
But I am saying this. You must pay a special attention to your strong African activists who work in the last 9 years.
Yeah.
Who was brutalized
by the PNM.
And who was shamed by the PNM.
Yeah.
Do not forget your strong, as I said, I agree with when UNC win, everybody win. But I am saying this to the UNC government. You must pay a special attention to your African activists who was on the ground toiling for the last 9 years.
Yeah.
Don't make them cry.
Yeah, send me that video, Kingsley. I think I know who it is. I think I have assisted them once before, and I'll see what I could do as well.
Okay, well, I got on it. No.
Thank you very much. Yeah, man. Blessings. Apologies for that. The lines are blowing up. Right? Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Oh God, sorry to call back and tie up your callers.
Nothing. Short and sweet.
That caller, all these times, months listening to this program, you kind of gauge who is who, right? So Kingsley talking there, and I kind of gather he was a activist or something under the UNC.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been an activist or nothing like that. I just vote and I just talk on issues that affect me, my family, my people, in a sense, right?
Exactly.
But tell you, I have since I started listening to this radio, this 91.9, right? It's through these two guys, Keisty and Heavy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I coming home from evenings, I used to put it on this program because I wanted to hear them, and because I started to hear them and what they were saying, right, and they was bringing plenty issues to the forefront, even introducing new things that you would have said, which I never knew before, and things that this Philip Alexander, but they were the main people on that evening.
Yeah.
So when the election was won by the UNC, I keep wondering whatever happened to them. It's like, you kind of build a relationship with them without knowing them or seeing them or know who they are.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping really and truly that they would have gotten something under this government, because let me tell you, they did some really good groundwork there. And I mean, you can't not say that the UNC have a lot to be thankful for those two guys. So I really hope that somewhere I will find them one day and find out what they're doing.
All right, blessings. Yeah, I and all would have wished, and hopefully we will see in the future as well.
Every time the UNC gets in power, they do something negative where the African youths are concerned. I remember there was a program running, and that program was really the youth camps. All over the place, they had African youths learning different type of trades and researching. And as soon as the UNC get into power under Basil Pandey, they scrap it. So that program went out the door. So you could imagine from that program, they had nothing else to do. I remember when Kamala Prasad was Minister of Education, which I always say this, I support her, removing corporal punishment from in school, because that came from the plantation, slave plantation. I supported that, but she put nothing in place to deal with that, with whatever indiscipline it will have in the school. And here she comes back again into power, and the first attack is on the African youths again. The attack is on the African youths again. They put them before the court. Let them go there. And you know what happened? I see these things at times as diversions, because you have everybody now coming down on the school children. You have indiscipline in school all the time. You understand? We always have that in school. Since I go to school, they have that, right? But when you're talking about put something in place to deal, you understand, with that indiscipline, you put them before the court. And I am telling you, you don't have to agree with me this morning. If that was any other race in this country, in that issue, with that with that deal, they never put them before the court. Let me tell you, there's a saying, the biggest problem to the African man is the African man himself. He don't support himself, he supports everybody else. But before I go to say something, the old people are staying there, they say, I don't know if you know the saying, Bamba Yagosi. You ever get that saying?
Bamba Yagosi?
Bamba Yagosi.
Nah, explain that one. I don't know that one.
It means take time. In time, you will see everything in time as time go along.
Yeah, man,
give it
of
time.
course. Yeah.
Understand? But it's the African people have to learn that we're not standing up for our people because everybody I hear coming down, even when I hear the police commissioner attack the children and them, and the Homeland Security attack them, I say, here we go again. The African problem, the African man, nobody is. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you very much. Go ahead, caller. Morning, brother.
Good morning. Yeah, I don't know some people that just call and talk a pack of dotishness, boy, like this they have no brain. Watch that. I support the letting all the files are all who get in US. Let all that files. And another thing, if Hawaii is saying that he keeping it private, that is a red flag for me.
But she go fire him too. She go just fire him if he.
Yeah.
That's not true. I don't know where Kingsley get our news, but that's not true.
Yeah, we not in the business of secrecy. We want everything transparent. And if when he's saying the truth, that is a red flag for me.
Yeah,
the ground ain't taking them to police. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we understand looking for another party from Norway, so in case if this party swing left, we have alternative.
That is all.
Right, we're not on that.
We like Tobago.
And tomorrow, if you see that vote tomorrow, I want to see how that vote going tomorrow. I stick into the TV tomorrow for that vote.
Blessings, brother. Yeah, we like Tobago. Wherever the grass greener and making sense for the people, that's where we gravitate. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Yeah, I don't want to be brief. I don't know. I sometimes I get very scared in this country.
Yeah, me too sometimes.
I just fight when I listen to the radio sometimes. I don't know. Either we're going forward. This thing was black, this and black, that. Everybody in church, we talk about law, the rule of law. Every child, regardless of Indian beat Indian.
I was wondering if have East Indian children who partake in violence as well, and they will be subjected to the same policy.
Where are they going with this?
Yeah.
The fact remains is that the people, you talk about the age of criminal responsibility, and the fact remains is that if you break the law and you're at the requisite age, you would be prosecuted. The law provides for that.
We're talking about setting a strong example because we see a proliferation of the violence.
When you go to court, the magistrate, whoever he or she be, would determine the kind of punishment or sentence that will be meted out. So either you put the person on probation, suspend the sentence, you fine, right? Either the insurance authority would come in there, they put you under the care of your parents to report and whatnot. And so all these things, all these instruments, all these remedies are available. So this nonsense going back about black this and close down this and close down that, they start up with the nonsense already.
Yeah, don't let her frustrate you at all.
Another thing I want to talk about briefly with respect to this question with this. The fact remains is that I hear Kingsley the fact remains is that man says he's not going to release the names of the people. So the fact remains is that you can, as you did quite succinctly earlier on, you say, well, look, with respect to this industry, this area of activity, this is the money that was allocated. You could do that, but you have somebody already outside there making mischief.
Yeah.
I heard them there talking about the names, and they're going to get the names and the names of this, and if they're going to just write it up the people again.
Yeah.
You have people outside there. They are psychologists without license, you know.
Yeah.
All they're doing is manipulating the minds of the people.
Thank you very much.
I on the radio. Otherwise, I did the radio a long time.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We have to close.
Yeah.
So we come to a close. Just a couple seconds, and we'll continue the discussions tomorrow. Let us understand what is taking place in our country and think about it clearly. All right? Respect and love to everyone. See you all tomorrow, God willing.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
You want to find something great to do with your Tuesday nights? You want to learn and understand the true reason for Jesus? Then join us every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. for the program, This Same Jesus, the program that puts Jesus in his rightful place in our hearts and in our homes. Let's bring church home to you. Join us every Tuesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. with your hosts, Kempes and Kevin. Be inspired, be blessed right here on the street.